My name is Alex from Accessories International, and today we're going to be working on a Mercedes-Benz G-Class, a G63 to be exact, and we're upgrading the one part of the car that you spend the most time looking at, that is the screen. Today we have a DMP Android command screen. This is a full touch screen that will be replacing the OEM screen. Now when you replace this OEM screen, you're not going to be losing any of the OEM features. So the OEM menus, the reverse camera, the volume controls, the command knob, all of the OEM settings will remain functional on the new screen. You'll just be adding an entire new set of features through the new screen. That's going to include a wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, the ability to get to the App Store, download movies, games. You have a plethora of different features that you'll be able to use on the new screen to enhance the entire car. And on top of that, the interior of the car is also going to feel modernized with this new big shiny screen rather than the small old screen. Here at Accessories International, not only do we install the screens, but we work with them. We use them every day and we understand the insides and outs of them. So if you need support, upgrades, anything along those lines, we're here to help you out. Let's get to the install, show you exactly how it's done. Beginning the installation video, we will start you off with a quick overview of the DMP Car Design Android Screen Kit. Starting off here, we have the actual screen itself. We have a 12.3 inch thin version of the screen here. This is thinner than the previous generation, as you can see. Nice low profile for a clean look on the car. Here we have our Android harnesses, our mounting bracket for the screen, and a set of pry tools to help you throughout the installation. Now the harnesses have two different harnesses. We'll start off with this big power harness. This plugs into the OEM Mercedes power that goes to the radio, and the other end goes into the radio itself. This is an audio filter box. These are some accessory connections which aren't typically used. This wire here is the audio out cable. This is important because this is what's used to send signal from the screen out to your car speakers, and it will plug into this AMI adapter. It plugs into this end here, and then the other end, this will plug into the actual car itself. This part is crucial for getting sound, and this is the white-headed connector which will plug into the back of the screen to power the screen on. And here we have a USB connection which is used for wired CarPlay or updates. Now here we have the smaller version of the harness. This harness is the LVDS harness. It was used to send signal from the original Mercedes radio up to the new screen, so you have the OEM interface still on the screen. That white-headed connector here is the connector that goes to the back of the screen. Here we have the LVDS in. This is what will plug with the original LVDS cable that comes out of the back of the OEM screen. Here we have another USB, again for wired CarPlay or updates. And here we have a microphone input. Now this will plug into the microphone out that's located on the other Android harness here. Both of these connectors will plug into each other. If you remove the cap, you'll see the female end, and this is what's going to allow us to retain good audio quality through the screen. Here we have the bracket, and this completes the DMP Android Command Screen Kit. Starting the installation off, we'll remove the OEM screen. You have two rubber covers on the back of the screen which can be pried open with a small flat-headed screwdriver to expose the two Torx screws on the back. We'll use a screwdriver to remove the two screws and free the screen. Once the screen is freed, you'll see two connectors on the back of the screen. The blue one is the LVDS connector, which is very important and we'll have to keep handy. The black one is the original power connector, which will no longer be used. Once the screen is removed, we'll pry off this trim panel that goes around the edge of the radio and the air vents. It just uses a simple pry mechanism with some clips. You can study the back of the trim here to make sure you pry from the correct areas. Then we have a couple of screws which are holding in this air vent panel that go around the perimeter, and we'll go ahead and start removing those screws so we can remove this air vent panel. Once complete, the air vent panel will come out of place, and you'll see one connection on the back of the panel which you can remove to completely free it from place. On the left and right side of the radio, there are retaining screws which can be undone to then remove the radio. When you pull the radio out, you'll have these retaining brackets, which we like to call the horsies. On the back of the radio, you'll see some connectors which will begin to unplug. This is the power connector, and the orange cable is the fiber cable, which is responsible for sending audio from your amp all the way up to the radio. Be very careful with this connector as we will be transferring it to the new harness and reusing it. Begin to remove all of the connectors so that you can free the radio completely and give yourself more space to work around. We'll then remove the screen mounting bracket with the 3 screws, one on the left, one on the right, and one in the center, and free it from place. And then grab ourselves our Android harness and begin to run the power cable from the bottom up to that top hole so that we can get the screen in position to mount and test. We'll then grab our LVDS harness and do the same process. You can use tape and wire for this process to easily run it through, but we find that it's easy enough and just use our hands to run it from the bottom to the top. We'll then bring the blue-headed LVDS wire down to the bottom and plug it into the LVDS in on this harness to make sure we have our original display working on the new screen. You can see the connection here. We leave that tucked in on the bottom. We'll then grab our USB connectors and our audio out connector and move them to the side so that we can keep them and run them into the center console. In order to disassemble the center console, we start by removing this carpet liner and then undo the 4 screws underneath it in the center console storage box. With the 4 screws undone, you can simply pull up with a little bit of pressure to release it. Then you'll have 2 screws that are holding the air vent panel and the shifter in place. You can remove these 2 screws and then proceed to remove the trim panel, which is located around the radio and vent hole. This trim panel will block the removal of the air vents, so it must be taken out in order to finish removing the air vents and shifter panel. With it removed, we can then pull out the air vents and shifter panel, which is all one piece, and on the back there'll be some connectors which we can undo to give ourselves more space to work around and run the audio out wires and USBs from that radio hole over to the center console storage box. We'll lay down this air vent panel over to the side and then begin to get the wires ready to run them. The wires will run down underneath this area and we will drill a small hole in this panel here, and then another small hole in the glove box. The glove box is sealed off, so we will drill a hole in this panel here as well to run the cables through. As you can see, we begin to run the cables through the bottom of this plastic panels, right underneath this section and underneath the center console here to keep it nice and clean. We'll then grab ourselves a step drill and drill a nice hole to run the 2 cables through and repeat the process here into the glove box as well. Once the holes are drilled, you can run the wires through and then connect the audio out cable into the AMI adapter, which you can see we have an AMI input in the car, which we plug the adapter into. We'll now reintroduce the OEM radio and start to plug in the harnesses to get them into position to test the screen. We'll plug in the female end of the harness into the male end of the original harness. Then we'll remove the orange fiber cable from that original harness and plug it into the new harness to get that new harness in position and plugged into the back of the OEM radio. Make sure that that fiber cable is properly seated in the harness. If not, you will not have any sound. Once everything is plugged in, we'll grab our screen and plug in the 2 cables on the back side to begin testing. With the screen plugged in, we'll click the car info icon to get over to the original Mercedes interface. Make sure that this interface is fully functional and working, and test the audio. You can put the car into FM audio and then put it into aux mode and test that the sound from the Android side of the system is working by clicking on the music icon and playing a song. Once it's all confirmed to work, you can also make sure your rear view camera is working and your command knob is working, and then begin to reinstall everything back into its original position. You can snap back the center console pieces in place, put the screws back into their original locations, and then begin to accommodate the wires behind the radio so that we can get it all back in place easily and push the radio back with ease. We'll put the trim panel back in place before proceeding to push the radio back in, and then accommodate the radio and the air vent panel back into their original position. We can then grab ourselves our new mounting bracket for the new screen using the same 3 holes and retaining screws that we used on the original bracket, get it into place, and then simply slide the screen onto the hooks, as you can see here, to get it locked into position. Now enjoy your new 12.3-inch slim Android command screen from DMP Car Design. This screen packs all the latest features: wireless CarPlay, Android Auto, movies, games, you name it. This is a tablet built for your car, and it still retains all the OEM Mercedes features. We are Accessories International out of Miami, Florida. We've been doing this for over 25 years. We install the screens, we sell the screens, we support the screens, and if you need a new screen for your G-Class, we have them ready to go out of Miami, Florida. If you have any questions for us, give us a call, 786-242-5400. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next time.